Hey guys, Zach here. I know it's called football. Let's get started and just talk really quickly about the result from the Brighton game. I'm going to try to make this quick. There wasn't too much really going on in general with the game other than Arsenal defending. And I think, from what I've seen on Twitter, and obviously I'm always trying to engage with people and with fans on Twitter. And it's not always easy. Obviously, people tend to kind of come at your neck or they take what you say the wrong way. So I try to be pretty civil. I think I was today, just talking to a couple people about the result and what I thought was going on with the team, the way we were, set up and the formation we took. I think missing Granit Xhaka. I don't know when people are going to start to admit that he's, extremely important for this team to function the way the manager wants it, and that's what's important. What the manager wants. I think maybe he got it wrong today, but you ask yourself, has he made changes that are going to improve the side? Starting from the beginning of the season, you say perhaps people might have thought Xhaka is out. Maybe he plays El Neni. Maybe he puts El Neni in there. But I think putting Sambi Lokonga in there today was the right decision. However, we were just lacking everything. The intensity that we saw against Spurs. Now, the first thing really I said in my last video was, if you're gonna show you can play this way, you're gonna show you can play this way against a team in Spurs that are obviously, I think. Okay, let me backtrack. Okay, maybe Brighton's got a bit more quality than Spurs, but you're showing that quality, you're showing that pressing and that desire and that hunger. If you show that once, then I'm expecting that in every game, and maybe it's not going to be 45 minutes, maybe it's not going to be for 90 minutes, but I expect that for some of the for the majority of the game. That's what I expect to see because you've shown that we can do it. And Granit Xhaka for me isn't really integral in the pressing of the front three. Odegaard, Emil Smith Rowe, and Bukayo Saka. They can basically do that on their own. You can let Thomas Partey sit back here and Sambi Lokonga can kind of do the same. Obviously, he can't do the role that Granit wants, and I found it strange. Really, he was playing left back. It almost seemed, and Tierney was so high up the pitch that he seemed to be playing left back, and he was just so defensive. Made a couple breaks, you have to say. Second half, Emil Smith Rowe came through, and I thought maybe if he just tried to chip it over Shane Duffy, when he first broke away, and Saka would have been through on goal. Maybe that could have been, but it was a shot on target. It was not a poor shot. I thought the goalkeeper did well. But look, overall, I have to say, I don't think Brighton, deserve to win. I don't think they deserve to win. They played better, which is just what I was saying on Twitter. They played better. I think they were the better team. However, they didn't exactly deserve to win the game, in my opinion. Shouts for a penalty for them. I didn't see it. I thought maybe there was a handball that could have gone in our favor, but tricky margins. I thought the Jonathan Moss did all right. A couple of times where people went down early, and I don't know why Shane Duffy didn't get a yellow card in the beginning of the game, in the first half, for that just barging into Ramsdale. Didn't play the ball. Was basically trying to get away with just ramming his shoulder into him to see if the ball could get loose, and he knew what he was doing. This is a experienced defender, so I'll just kind of go talk about each player, give him a little rating. Starting with Aaron Ramsdale, didn't have too much to do. A couple saves, again in that first half, he did bobble it, but let me just sidetrack here. These are games where you're going away to Brighton, a very difficult, a difficult matchup. It's I'm not gonna blame the weather, right? Both teams are playing there in the weather, obviously, but it was a difficult game. The way the ball was moving on the pitch, the way it was moving in the air. Early on you saw Trossard, slip. So it's obviously the conditions of the pitch. They matter. There's no excuse to not win the game, but certainly they played a part in how they were playing. And I'm not going to make an excuse for why there wasn't pressing on the ball. I think maybe first 10 minutes you saw Oba and Odegaard kind of really sprinting players down, but it wasn't enough because there was always an extra man. And again, it comes down to the manager. So people want to say I defend the manager, and it's fans like me that are the reason why we're a mid-table team. It's just desperate. It's desperate. This is who the board wants as the manager. They've invested this amount of money in him. There are better managers out there, obviously, but he's not going to get sacked, okay? They're not going to fire Mikel Arteta because he's drawn away at Brighton. And people will say, oh, it's the no European football in 8th place the last year. Yes, I get that. I get it, okay? It's not acceptable for me either. However, this is what the board is doing. They're behind it, the project, the process, the two words that us fans are sick and tired of hearing. That's the reality, and people can't seem to accept it. And not only that, but they're not doing anything about it. They would rather attack people on Twitter, other fans who are just like me, who are just saying, look, this is the situation we're in. What else can we do as fans? So sorry to go on a little rant there, but it's just very, very boring and tiresome to constantly hear the same thing where it's I'm trying to make this point and someone's coming in with an argument that isn't even one because it has to do with people who have nothing to do with me or with the fans, I should say. So, look, Aaron Ramsdale did all right. I would probably give him a 6. I mean, the save he made in the second half, that cross I went through, he just had a strong hand to it, an innovative save. I don't think you see what if that was Bird Leno, he would maybe try to catch it or I don't know what he would do, but Aaron Ramsdale is a good goalkeeper because he's not doing anything fancy. It's just like Tomiyasu. Maybe he didn't have a great game today. I'll get into that a bit later, but they do the basics. He sees the ball's a threat. What can he do? He palms it away. He palms it up. He gets it out of the way. Same with the cross from Cucurella in the second half. He knew he wasn't going to catch it. He already failed to catch two balls. Really, the one in the first half he mishandled. The second a shot that came in, he didn't quite get it under his control. And he adapted. He said, I'm just going to push it away to the side, and that's what good goalkeepers do. So he might have made me a little nervous today, Aaron Ramsdale. Maybe his not his best game in an Arsenal shirt. I'm not going to praise him for a clean sheet because there wasn't enough to praise. Brighton weren't really a threat. I think they had one shot on target, maybe 2. A lot of shots, I think maybe 15 or so shots, 1 on target. So I'm not really going to praise the defense for having a clean sheet against that. They did all right collectively, sure. Aaron Ramsdale, I'm just going to give a 6. Tomiyasu, I thought probably his worst game so far. Cucurella was really just running all around him, and he struggled a couple times. Really, he just miscontrolled the ball. I mean, I'm not sure really how else to put it. He was being pressured the whole game, yes. Wasn't really being helped on that side. I thought Saka maybe could have done a little more to help him. But again, maybe it wasn't his job to. Maybe Arteta wanted him to stay further up the pitch, and we won't know that really. So, but again, I thought he did pretty poor. I'd probably give him a 5. Tomiyasu. Some of the things he did all right, a couple tackles, but really it came down to just silly mistakes where he wasn't even really being pressured and he kind of just bobbled the ball under his feet and went out of bounds. I think that happened twice actually. So moving on to Gabriel, I thought did all right. I would probably give him just a 6. Defensively sound, won quite a lot of headers. Again, just probably our best defender today. I would say, in my opinion, Gabriel, strong. A lot of corners to defend. Against those too tall. Excuse me. In fact, 3 of the center backs that Brighton had. So I thought he did pretty well. I'll give him a 6. Ben White, the same. I thought I'd probably give him a 6. Did all right. But with both of those guys, it just seemed like they were always launching the ball forward, and the whole game, Arsenal weren't winning the second ball. That was Brighton. That was all thanks to their pressure and the high intensity that they had the whole game. So every second ball was being won by Brighton. And the fact that Gabriel and Ben White just kept launching balls forward to try to give it, even if Aubameyang won the ball or someone won the ball up there, the ball that they played was often desperate. And we just gave away possession. I would like to see how many times we did, in fact, give away possession because it was pretty. It was just bad all around. The second ball, it just wasn't impressive. I was quite bored, in fact, during the whole game. Kieran Tierney, I'd probably give him a 5. Didn't really do much again today. A couple misplaced passes. Got forward a couple times, but again, the defending from Brighton, I just thought outclassed the attacking from Arsenal. And again, there wasn't much. We had that one breakaway with Emil Smith-Rowe. I thought maybe he could have done better, but in my opinion, Tierney was. He was decent. He was all right. I give him a 5. Nothing too special from Kieran Tierney today. Moving on to the midfield, Thomas Partey probably again. I don't know. I got to give him a 6. It wasn't anything spectacular. Again, shooting and not really getting them on target. The shot against Tottenham, was what you expect, in terms of quality and forcing the goalkeeper to make a save, but. Couple shots just over the bar. It's. I'm not sure if he's just desperate to get a goal. I mean, obviously he's scored goals like this before. That's his. That's how he scores goals. Thomas Partey, for long shots from outside the box, but it's just not happening for him. The free kick that he decided. I knew he was gonna shoot it. I don't know why. I don't know why. Ben White and Gabriel were forward for it. Excuse me. So again, I don't know what that was all about. I would have loved to see. The manager's reaction after that, but unfortunately the camera didn't go to him, so they decided to zoom in on Thomas Partey's face. So I'd give him a 5 in that midfield. Sambi Lokonga, I'd probably give it a 6. A little more lively. Again, Thomas Partey did his job well, broke the play up. But a couple times in that midfield, both of them got caught on the ball quite a bit. It seems like they had way too much time. They thought they had way too much time and space because they did against Tottenham, and they just got caught on the ball. It happened all over the pitch. Players getting caught on the ball. I don't know if there was no teammates screaming, man on, or I don't know what the hell was happening, but it happened all game and it happened all over the pitch. So for me, Sambi Lokonga, I'd probably give a 6. Maybe a newer, more different role for him today. Again, kind of dropping back into left back that we see Granit Xhaka do sometimes and try to play the ball out from the back. I thought he did okay, but again, it wasn't spectacular. Nothing was spectacular. No one really was. Moving on to the front three, Bukayo Saka, I thought first half did really well. That first breakaway, he did everything right. I think it just came down to the final shot. Looked really lively. Started the game well. I think throughout the game, he maybe came off it a bit, but I thought he did well. I'd give Bukayo Saka a 6. Sorry, they're all 6s, but again, it was nothing crazy, nothing monumental or too exciting. Did all right. Average game from Saka. I thought promising, obviously, but nothing crazy. Martin Odegaard, I'd probably give a 4, maybe a 5. And that's not to say that he wasn't trying. We saw him sprinting and trying to press and do his best, but there was too much space. That back three, they just had so much room. They had so much room to pass the ball. And if they were under pressure, they would just dink it forward to Cucurella or sorry, I can't quite remember who they had on the right wing there. But they just had so much room, and it was really only Oba and Odegaard who were making sprints to pressure that back three. And when it came down to it, really, if they got too much pressure on them, they just pass it back to Sanchez, who would distribute it back. And they chose sometimes to play out from the back, and sometimes they just launched it forward. And again, it goes back to them winning that second ball and just showing more desire to win it. So for me, Martin Odegaard came off, I think rightfully substituted off 4, 5. Nothing. You can't say much. He it's not even really his fault. It was made a sacrifice, for the substitution for Pepe when Pepe came on, and wasn't his game. So yeah, Martin Odegaard 4, 5, whatever. It doesn't really make much of a difference. Was pretty poor today, I think. Now moving over to Emil Smith-Rowe, was probably the best player today, I would say. But again, I'd have to give him a 6. I have to give him a 6. There wasn't anything crazy. Had that opportunity, didn't score. Thought maybe he could have done better and lifted it over maybe and gave it into Bukayo Saka, who probably would have been in a better position to score. But was working his ass off, Emil Smith-Rowe. So I think for that maybe I'd give him a 7, but it's just hard. He's very, very good, Emil Smith-Rowe. We know he is. He's quick. He seems to be more willing to sprint these days. This season, at least, he's moving around a bit more, and his control is excuse me, I should say his confidence, I think, is getting better and better. Looked good. Looked the best player today, Emil Smith-Rowe. I'll give him a 7. But again, same story as everyone else. Nothing too great today to see on the pitch from the Arsenal players. Now Aubameyang, I give him a 5. I give him a 5. It didn't do too much today. The first touch I thought was shocking at times. I mean, the second half, it was like 58th minute. I remember it perfectly because I remember looking at the time because I knew I wanted to bring this up. And I'm going off. I got no notes today, man. I'm just ranting. I am just ranting. So appreciate it if you're still sticking with me. You can let me know, obviously, what you think with a comment or you can say something to me on Twitter if you'd like. Give me your opinion on the game. But Aubameyang, the 58th minute, he just ran ahead of the ball. I mean, he just ran past it, and he could have been clear through, I thought. And there was a couple times, the first time in the first half he was offside, so, say what you want. And in the second half, I just thought he could have just... I don't know where the pace is. We had no games midweek, no European football, nothing to do but train and prepare for this game, just like Brighton. And we came out on we didn't come out on the bottom. We split the points, but I don't know. He just was poor today. Some touches were great. There was a moment in the first half where he just chested a ball down to Smith Rowe, and I thought, well, where the hell was that the last two first touches? So Aubameyang, for me, I give a 4. Excuse me, I think I'd give him a 5. Just wasn't there today, and I don't know what. No excuses. I don't know why that was. Could say maybe he wasn't getting the service. He tried. The effort was there. He was pressuring. He was trying to do his best to run the ball down. But those Brighton defenders in that back three just had too much time today. Pepe, when he came on, and moving on to the subs, Pepe, he did okay, but oh my God, I'm just again with the first touch and the trying to be tricky and keeping the ball under his foot and rolling it around. Yeah, he tried that and he lost the ball, and Brighton could have counterattacked. If they scored a goal from that, I would have been fuming, man. I would have been like just watching Pepe sometimes. It's just so infuriating. Like he just move on with the ball, pass it, kick it off the defender's leg for a throw, and do something. But he doesn't do enough, man. It's so frustrating, this player, to watch. Like, even when he's on the breakaway, I swear the defenders aren't even threatened by him anymore, man. He scored 2 goals against Brighton last season. Great. Good for Brighton. Now, Brighton this season have 3 wins and 4. Last season it was 3 wins and 22 home games. So I don't care about the 2 goals he scored last season against Brighton, Pepe. I don't care. It's not relevant now. I thought a change had to be made. Maybe I think Odegaard had to come off. But I don't know. Pepe, for me, man, I am at the end of the line. I really, really am. And I thought, I don't want anyone to fail. Pepe is an Arsenal player. I support the club. I want him to do well. But, dude, fuck. It's so infuriating watching him. So Pepe, whatever, man. I give him a 4 when he came on. He did all right. The sprinting, the work off the ball, but it wasn't enough. I mean, he played 25 minutes. So maybe that's harsh, but it is what it is. I thought Lacazette, when he came on, did pretty well. Maybe that's what we needed the whole game. Maybe we could have played 2 up front and just I don't know, man. But something wasn't right today. But Lacazette, the hold up play, very, very tricky. It seems like a while since we've seen Andre Lacazette play on the play for us, and maybe it's just Aubameyang's been keeping him out, and he a couple goals now for Oba this season, but. I'm happy Oba's not now playing on the right wing. Obviously, Emil Smith-Rowe does far better over there, and it's complementary because Aubameyang is better as a striker. But it does mean that Lacazette obviously can't play as much. But I thought when he came on, did okay. I guess I give him a 6. There wasn't too much time for him to do much. It was involved in all the breakaways and all the play, But the hold the play, it's great. Lacazette, but just wasn't enough the whole game. It wasn't enough. So there it is. Those are my player ratings. But look, guys, it's a point away to a Brighton team that's doing very, very well this season. Don't forget, they could have been top of the league last season. I think now they're in 5th place. They've only lost 1 game. So say what you want. I was talking to a guy on Twitter, and he's saying, I'm acting like Brighton are a team of world beaters, and I'm not. But you can't. This gentleman called them farmers, and he wanted to blame the manager and he should be sacked. And You can't say they're not farmers, man. I mean, they did this without Basuma as well in that midfield, and they all had a great game. Cucurella was man of the match. He was everywhere. He was brilliant. This is the guy they brought in on deadline day, I think, from Getafe in Spain, and he's doing really, really well at Brighton. And Graham Potter, obviously, credit to him. He's doing fantastic. Thank fucking God Tottenham didn't get him as a manager, because he probably do pretty well there, you have to say. The way he's improved the team this season. So all credit to Graham Potter and the Brighton players. Again, I'll reiterate, they didn't deserve to win. I don't think they deserve to win the game. I think a point each is fair. I think a point each is fair for both teams. So, look, that's that. Going into the international break now. Jesus Christ, I can't remember who we're playing. I think it's Villa when we get back from the international break. So, obviously, no coverage for Arsenal. I will be covering the U.S. games now. I'll be away, actually, this weekend. I'm going to my girlfriend's cousin's wedding. So, I'll be traveling. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to cover the game. I'll have my camera there, and I don't know if I'll be able to watch. I'll try to do little videos. Maybe, the first 2 games I think I'm going to miss. So maybe I'll just do one video and kind of encapsulate both games, or I'll figure something out. But to anyone who's watched, I really appreciate it, guys. And feel free. I would love, I say this all the time, I'd love to come on and just talk with somebody, any fan. There's a Brighton fan I've been talking to. So I'd like to see his thoughts about this game, and invitations open, man. If anyone would like to come on and just chat about Arsenal or the U.S. men's team or whoever it might be, Premier League in general, just football, let me know in a comment, or feel free to DM me on Twitter. That's it for me, guys. Appreciate it very much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.